Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me today, and welcome to this reading for the full moon on the 12th. So here's a little music to actually I don't need to play music unless you want me to. Here, I'll play a couple notes. Usually I did it backwards. And I can't edit today. Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome to this reading for the full moon on the 12th of January. Thank you for everybody who voted for the sequence of the readings that we are doing today. I'm super excited to do it with polls. I think you guys like it too. Gemini and Capricorn led with a giant margin of nearly 400 votes apiece. I think that it's rigged, but I'm not quite sure. But let's start first of all with Gemini. No, let's first start with Capricorn, excuse me. So we're just going to work our way through the zodiac based on the poll results. If you guys want to see the poll results, just check out my Facebook. I'm going to post that later so you guys can see the sequence. And also we'll post the time caps in the about section below. If you guys are wanting to do the full year reading, I'm getting lots and lots of emails every day about a full year reading. I am doing the full year readings. I'm actually figuring them out how I'm going to offer them. So if you guys want that, then chill out until about like late January, early February, yeah? All right, so let's take a look, and if someone could kindly watch the timestamps, we're not going to edit this video down, so please do so right now. So, okay, so we're going back to our regular system, and so we're looking at the full moon in for Capricorn. Now, this is true for you if your full moon is happening in the 7th house of partnerships, so we start right there. But this is for Capricorn sun, moon, and rising, as well as those people who have the new moon happening in their 7th house of partnership. So pretty exciting for all Capricorn people, relationship stuff. The first thing I want to mention is that it's really kind of intense. It's an intense transit because we have the moon is in rulership in Cancer. The moon rules Cancer, so that's one thing. But we're also seeing a Grand Cross energy here, powerful Grand Cross energy in the cardinal signs. We have a Thor's hammer straight on the North Node in your 9th house. That's to do with philosophy, ideas, and perspectives. I feel as though there's going to be a lot of competing energies that are at play right now. You might feel a little frazzled. At the end of the day, let me tell you, it's going to be all okay. And the name of the game is to do it slowly, to approach things in a chill fashion. You're going to have opportunities to rehash things more than once. There's a Rosetta Stone here from your 10th house of social status, and then over to your 12th house of religious philosophy. That's how I would name it. And then down here in the 3rd house of personal development, stemming from your formative years, and then over to your partnership. So if at this time, if you feel as though there is some type of conflict that is brewing for you, Capricorn, you may actually find that the solution, you'll have a second chance at it. So if you're feeling a little bit, intense, and this is really an opposition between the sun and the moon, and the sun is in your 1st house, so it's really important for you to kind of take ownership of that, focus on that, and take ownership of how your own behavior is creating the circumstances that you are involved in, for good and for bad, and how that's reflective through your partnerships and your experiences. A wonderful time to grow, but as you can see in the chart, it's just over the top in terms of energy. So take it slow. Here are some cards for you guys to get some perspective. This is my deck, 19th century tarot. So we have the 5 of Swords, sorry. So there's competing interest, elbowing. Like I said, there's just a lot of friction. There's a lot of kind of like precedent-setting behavior. Here is the next card. This is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. And here we have wisdom, perspective, growth, potential. It's all coming together. Actually, the aspect that is really saving us during this full moon, if we want to take back look at the chart, is that Rosetta, because Rosetta allows us to go over things more than once. So we have a lot of planets, a stellium in Pisces in the 3rd house, which is rehashing how we talk to others, how we communicate with others. You're getting more than one chance. So don't be so afraid by this Grand Cross. The Grand Cross is in cardinal signs initiation. That includes you. So it's definitely one to be humble to, but somewhere where you can find success. So those of you guys who brought a notebook, I forgot to mention this in the opening, but if you brought something, or if you can write this down, write down this keyword. Your keyword for this full moon is sacred alchemy. And so there is a mechanism that is working behind the scenes that is really clarifying issues. What seems to be like a conflict on the forefront is actually something much more deeper, much more attuned. Here is a message, Sagittarius. So what's in Sagittarius? Saturn is in Sagittarius, one point of the Rosetta that is happening right now. And so Saturn in Sagittarius in the 12th house. What is your spiritual belief system? What do you need to change about your belief system, about the cosmos, about the universe, in order to make it work better? They also conned me into picking crystals as I read, so I will pick a crystal for you from my little crystal box. I like this crystal box. It's actually a really fun way to, less intense than the giant crystal grids that I was doing. I'll do them again. Here we go. How about for you guys, we pick this. This is a beautiful piece of fluorite. It's actually very kind of transparent, and it actually allows a lot of heart healing, the heart chakra and throat chakra, because the colors of the fluorite range from green to blue to purple, and so it really kind of energizes those upper chakras and can actually clarify our perspectives and ideas on things, about how we need to go about dealing with a situation. Really go easy on your partners at this time, and you might be also feeling very sensitive about partnership, in which case you need to make sure that you practice very kind of mindfulness and mindful approach to your partnerships, and everything will be well. Look for the keyword alchemy and sacredness, sacred around you. This will pop up a lot for you in the time of the full moon, 3 days before, 3 days after. And so yeah, so look out for those words to come out and see where they guide you. They will come up. This is these cards are very special. That word will come up. Next up we have Gemini. So hi Gemini, thank you for joining me. This is true for you if you are a sun, moon, or rising Gemini, or if you have the full moon happening in your 2nd house. So yeah, again, we have a lot of transits, Gemini. We have Grand Cross energy and the cardinal signs. This is going to initiate a bunch of unexpected things happening. There is a Thor's hammer on the North Node in your 4th house of home, really energizing transformation in the home, family dynamics, etc. We also have a beautiful Rosetta, which is actually the point that really saves this day, which would have been extremely harsh otherwise. But the Rosetta allows us to go over different aspects of our lives over and over again and re-energize them. And so Gemini, for you, what is important to focus on is your career and social status. Look at the stellium here. So many planets working through your public persona, your public image, etc. Then over to your 2nd house of financial resources. Your feelings and emotions about that are going to be very attuned right now. Next, we're going to take a look at your 5th house of passion. Jupiter in your 5th house, giving you really new opportunities in terms of love, directions that you are taking. And then finally, over to your 7th house of partnership, where we have Saturn kind of setting down the rules of what's right and what's wrong. Also, last little opportunity to communicate with potential partners, with your partner, and establish those bonds, because Mercury is in the 29th degree of Sagittarius. That's also very important. So Gemini, overall, you have a crazy set of transits going on around a lot of focus on your relationships, a lot of focus on your social status and your career. And the opposition is actually between your 8th house sun, initiating a lot of change and transformation. For you, you're probably the most sensitive to the sun and Pluto transit. Pluto is the ruler of the 8th house, so the 8th house has to do with endings, other people's money, and also sex. And the sun is there illuminating all those aspects of your life, creating tension and opposition to the moon. The feelings, do I have enough resources on my own to be able to make it? How will this all pan out? How am I gonna balance everything all together? Okay, so let's take a look at your tarot cards. I have a feeling this is gonna run really long, so sorry about that, guys. It's just a lot of information. Sometimes the full moon or the new moon is really quick. You know, there's not that much, but as you can tell here, it's just a loaded chart, so there's a lot to talk about. I'm actually not doing it justice because there's just so many different intricacies to this chart. I might do another morning special where I talk about it a little bit more, maybe in the pre-show. So your first card, Gemini, is the 7 of Wands, and the 7 of Wands is about sticking up for what you believe in, really going with your gut and believing what's right, and also being fair and equitable to the people around you and moving in a healthful way in a new direction. The next card is from Dreams of Gaia. We have thought. So it's important to contemplate one's existence. The sun will soon move into your 9th house, so this is maybe the experience of what you are about to think about, as a primary energy in your life. The North Node is in your 4th house, and it is creating a Thor's hammer. Thor's hammer is abrupt, explosive energy that can really shake up the dynamics in your 4th house of home and family relationships. And so this is really important. I think that this full moon overall is going to create a rupture in a stalemate. So if there's been some type of stalemate that has been happening in your life, this is the point at which it may rupture. And very likely that will happen in your 4th house because that's where your North Node is. So really kind of contemplate, be contemplative, but really stick through with what you believe to be right for you. Here is your next message. So here we have being ready, and this is like your seal of approval. This is your time. Go for it. Make that transformation. Make that change. I think Gemini is ready to make those changes. They feel it. I think that the Sun conjunct Pluto was really initiating a lot of opportunity for change. There's just a lot of hard aspects on the sun. The sun is forming almost an exact square to Jupiter during the full moon. And so this is like motivation, what you believe to be true, Gemini. There's just a real kind of fire under your butt to get going in the directions that matter to you most. Here is a token for you guys for the full moon. Oh, wow. Okay, Gemini, this is the card of the marriage or love. This is a committed relationship, a focus on committed relationships. Well, we do see a Mercury at 29 degrees of Sagittarius and Saturn here. So if you are in a committed relationship already, you might be actually feeling the inclination to commit to a marriage, commit to a more formal degree of commitment. So congratulations for that. See, believe what you are going for, thinking about it, and then being ready to move forward in the direction that makes sense to you. Here is your next stone. So I'm going to give you the rose quartz this time because I do feel like for you the primary energy is commitment and love. And I do feel as though this is a wonderful time to move forward and get serious about something or someone, really kind of make that a more solid bond. Okay, so congratulations, Gemini. Wonderful cards for this full moon. I thought it was going to be hairy, but it's looking pretty good for you. Next up we have Virgo. So hey Virgo, welcome to this reading. This reading is for you if you are a Virgo sun, moon, or rising, or if you have the full moon happening in your, where is it? In your 11th house of social relationships and friendships. Okay, so here is the chart for you. So this is a chart for Virgo sun, moon, and rising, and then also if you have the full moon happening here in your 11th house. So this is a really important full moon. There's a lot of charts going on. I feel like a broken record, but there's a Grand Cross energy in the cardinal signs. Really powerful energy that's affecting your social life. It's affecting your finances. It's affecting your passions and your relationships. You might be really hitting it off with someone in a really powerful way, Virgo. You may actually be also finding qualities to someone's character who you've been seeing. This is not necessarily a partnership. This is for those of you who are in a romantic relationship. You could be seeing certain qualities in a person's character and you need to watch out for them. This is going to be very illuminating. The sun is illuminating that Pluto. So watch out for the warning signs. If there aren't any warning signs, there could be signs of like the green card, like go ahead with things. Not like the American green card, but like just the opportunity to go ahead. The other points that I'm sure you guys want me to focus on is the stellium in Pisces. This is an important part of the chart. However, it's not the main focus of this full moon. But we do have a Piscean stellium in your 7th houses right now. And so there's a rehash of partnership, relationships, healing, improvement, just overall well-being with regard to those directions. Venus is actually in a conjunction to your south node, and your north node here in your 1st house. It's finishing up the 1st house, so it's important to focus on that. Has a Taurus hammer on it. Unexpected things can come up in terms of your personality, and so this is going to be motivated by the source energy of love within your family, like original things that you were taught, your constructs that you have been exposed to, the scars that you deal with regard to love. They can manifest through your personality and give you really great insights on what you need to actually change. It could be an outburst. It could be I'm not sure, a lot of different things. So make sure that you are, just kind of not freaking yourself out when you're speaking your mind, or if something comes up, just allow that energy to work its way through. Actually, in fact, in terms of the Piscean 7th house, I would not worry about it. Oh, it's not a big part of this full moon. It's not a big part, but it's well aspected. It's actually the most well aspected point of the chart. So you should be, feeling pretty good, and it's creating a trine to the moon. In fact, Virgo is going to really go more than other signs under the radar and really not feel the greatest impact, except for this personal outburst that has to do with your personality that could give you awareness. Oh, I need to change this, or I need to change that. All right. Woo! There's a lot to say for everybody. So here is the next message. Here is a tarot card. So we have the Chariot here, Cancer. Cancer becomes very important for Virgo. Cancer represents overcoming. The Chariot represents, the Chariot is ruled by Cancer, and the moon is in Cancer. So social relationships illuminated. There could be friction, but through that friction, really good friends come to the forefront. And you really bond with Cancer people in your life. Here is the next message. So we have I never know how to pronounce this, Seneschal. This is a middle manager type of energy. This is you kind of being caught in between, or a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn who participates with you in the management of your life at this time. For this one, you want to write down this keyword and see how it manifests in your life. So we have the message weak. So this is weak as in weakness. There's a necessity for you to reinforce things, to reinforce relationships in your life, maybe reinforce your personality. Maybe you learn the hard way that you have to be more assertive, that you have to be more forefront and kind of more domineering in a certain respect. So here is the next token. So what we see here, okay, so this is the symbol of health, and so health is very important. So maybe you are actually physically feeling weak and drained through this full moon, and so if this is the case, then you need to really take care of yourself, especially with the sun with Pluto in your 5th house. I could see that really being a drain in your energy levels and just feeling of well-being. And then the focus on your personality, because the North Node is at the end of Virgo, the last 5 degrees. The North Node is always retrograde, and so because it's in the last 5 degrees, it's consolidating everything that we've learned about ourselves, Virgo. So make sure that you are addressing anything that's come up. Here is, let's see, for health. Let's see, why don't we give you guys some beautiful amethyst cluster. The amethyst cluster encourages moderation, health, peace, and mindfulness. Let's hope that it, there we go, focuses in. So I hope that you are able to rest, dear Virgo, and there is a little bit of love or positive sentiment coming through in your life, but make sure that you are not burning yourself out in order to make good of it, okay? And make sure that you write down that word weak and see where you are feeling weak and try to reprimand that or improve on that in a certain way. So next we have Pisces. Pisces came in third. They were probably the ones who were the most excited about this full moon. So let's have a look and see. So hi Pisces, thank you for joining me. This is a reading for you if you are a sun, moon, or rising in Pisces, or if you have the full moon happening in your 5th house. 5th house is romantic relationships, ooh, as well as children and passions and general hedonism and happiness, okay? So in the 5th house of Pisces, of Cancer, we have the full moon. Now, the story with this full moon is not that it's perfect. There's a lot of really robust energy. The one thing that is really kind of helping things along, and I think it's important for you, Pisces, is that there's a Rosetta Stone, and that affects your 1st house where we have a stellium, and then the 5th house, and then your 8th house of endings, termination, when we see Jupiter this year, and then finally Saturn and Mercury here in your 10th house of social status and career. So there's a big focal point on what you can do both socially and within your own personality to amend circumstances and change the way things terminate. Pisces, you should be feeling encouraged and supported through the Rosetta. The Rosetta energy allows us to rehash things over and over until we understand the point of what we're dealing with. Beyond that, we have a cardinal grand cross, which is going to be intense. It's right through the middle of the full moon. This is a really robust initiation energy and an initiation year, first full moon of the year. So you really need to kind of plan your steps wisely. A grand cross is not necessarily such a bad energy. Pisces, I see one more thing. So we're talking about romantic relationships here, but let's take a look at your North Node. Your North Node is in your 7th house. The 7th house is partnership, right? And we have a Thor's hammer, a big, powerful Thor's hammer striking down in the middle of the partnership house. So with the North Node in the 7th house, you expect some type of really shattering, earth-shattering experience to come through in your partnerships to give you insight into partnerships. You may actually understand for some reason how you are either stuck in one or the other, in the romantic mode or maybe in the partnership mode a little bit too much in one or the other, and this can really clarify your position and how to deal with it and improve circumstances. For you, the really well aspected Piscean stellium in the 1st house allows you to adapt, evolve, understand, have compassion, and have healing for everything that is happening around you, okay? So overall, very busy energy, but also very positive and constructive if you make sure that it is. So your first message, ooh, we have the Chief. So in my deck, I called the Emperor the Chief. And so the Emperor represents the ruler. You can be your own ruler, Pisces, whether you're a man or a woman. You can be kind of the ruler of the business or whatever else that you are taking control over. In fact, Saturn is in your 10th house, so this is a wonderful time to really consolidate well-earned positions of power and authority. This can also represent that we're dealing with issues of family, of partnership between yourself and a partner, or you being the partner to someone else. So here we go. The next message is perception. Okay, so with perception, these cards are different. This is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. I'm really guided to say that don't jump to conclusions if something looks out of sorts, especially with Pluto conjunct the Sun in your 11th house. A lot of Pisces could be seeing their relationships in a weird way, so make sure that you're not really putting your thoughts out there too readily during this full moon. Take a step back, allow that energy to kind of work itself out, and maybe choose to speak later to it instead of during the full moon, because you might have an unfortunate discussion. And remember, with the full moon, we are always creating opportunities for endings with the full moon, and so we've got to be mindful of it, because you can put too much energy behind an ending. Rather than reforming a relationship, we can actually terminate it. And Jupiter in the 8th house is going to give us the propensity of doing that in our lives anyway, Pisces. So here is the next message. Your message is new. So I'm not sure if Pisces are being tempted in new directions or what's going on, but I think that there's some new direction that is possible for you. And here is a token for you, Pisces. Ooh, friendship. So this is the token for friendship. So approach your partnerships and your relationships in a friendly way, in an understanding way, compassionate, and then they will grow very kind of harmoniously. Why don't we give you guys a little twin crystal quartz? Let's have a look and see. There we go. It's a little one, but it's still good. It's growing well together. So good friendships being dealt to you throughout this full moon. Make sure that you are really kind of open to new friendships while still allowing the opportunity for new evolution of your friendship that is established with whomever it is you're partnered up with or in a romantic relationship with. Okay, so next after Pisces, let's see, it was close. Cancer was next. So hi, Cancer. So this is important. This is happening in your 1st house. So exciting. Let's see. Pisces, Cancer. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm doing, it's a vote that we did in the pre-show. So Cancer, hey Cancer, this is for you if this is your Cancer sun, moon, or rising, or if you have the full moon in your 1st house. So the name of the game is total confusion and randomness. A lot of stressful situations can come up, but those stressful situations are going to help us learn and evolve and improve on circumstances that we are dealing with, Cancer. So it's important for you to kind of take it on the chin. A lot of pressure that you're going to feel on your personality. A lot of pressure is being given to you from outside sources, particularly your partnerships. There's a grand cross over us that's going to make us feel like really intense about things. Jupiter's in the 4th house, really encouraging us one way with regard to our family and home. And Uranus wants us to break out of our shell in our careers and social status. However, for you Pisces, the big supporting energy here is the 9th house. So stick to your flexibility. Sorry, not Pisces, Cancer. Stick to your flexibility and really kind of look for the harmonic vibe of love in your life and use that to your advantage to illuminate and transform your personality and improve on circumstances. So in fact, there's a conjunction here that resonates for you probably more than other signs, and so that is the conjunction between the sun and a fixed star called Pollux. And here we have a fixed star that is initiating creativity, out of the box thinking, out of the foundation of pain. And so unfortunate circumstances can come up to the surface. They can feel kind of intense. They can make things feel hairy. And so you got to make sure that you are strong through this transit. A lot of Cancers really struggle with the transit of Pluto in your 7th house. This is a long-term transit. It's grinding and it's grueling. Well, at this time, you're going to feel the brunt of that. And you've had a break from that for the last few months. And again, it's ramping up. Make sure, in order to make this work for you better, really watch your words and watch whatever lessons you have learned about communication. So don't feed into those energies too much in terms of being too abrupt with your words and your opinions at this time. Just be flexible with your perspectives. I'm telling everyone just to take things slowly with regard to this full moon in general. For you, it's going to revolve around partnerships and also your own perspectives and thinking about things, okay? And also how you communicate them. So the first tarot card for you guys is the 7 of Discs. And the 7 of Discs is giving you perspective to change certain things and go and look forward to the future. How am I going to invest in the future to find success and growth in that direction? The next card that we have is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. And we have here abundance. Embrace abundance, Cancer, and really feel that going through your life. Also, with regard to your personality, communicate abundance in your first house. Be forthright and feel as though you're not being depleted. With this transit here, you might feel overshadowed by a partner or series of partners or past partnership relationships. So it's important for you to not be overbearing, which you're really wonderful at, but then also don't fall back on being kind of secretive or hiding your wonderful abundant personality. If you are able to write down this key word, and we have here, richness. Okay, so richness does not only come in the form of money, richness comes through the personality as well. So think of the power of abundance and wealth coming through your personality, and the flexibility and adaptability of your perspectives is going to really help you through this full moon. Here is a message for you, Cancer. We have the sign of Taurus, and so with Taurus, we have, again, topics of money. Taurus rules your, 11th house of social relationships and friendships. And so you want to make sure that you are communicating that, creating an environment around you that is abundant and prosperous and full of wealth. And here we have a Libyan desert glass crystal, a very pretty one. And so yes, so please have a wonderful full moon. Think of the future. So we start off with this consciousness of wealth and where wealth is taking us, Cancer. And so you want to make sure that you are starting off with a positive perspective. No matter how much work you do, you will never get anywhere without a positive financial perspective. And so monetary issues and just general sense of abundance about wealth and prosperity and success is advisable at this time. So let's take a look at who's next. Okay, so next we have Leo. Hi Leo, thank you for joining me and welcome to this reading for the full moon in Cancer on June. I'm already reading for June, January 12th. Okay, super excited to read for you guys, and this is true for you if you're a Leo sun, moon, and rising. The full moon is happening, let's see, where is the moon? In your 12th house. Ooh, Leo, you've got a cool one. Okay, so for you, Leo, this is kind of an intense full moon with regard to philosophy, belief systems, changing your approach to things, and being really provoked to change your disposition, your whole general opinion and disposition towards things, embracing new directions, and really kind of in terms of spirituality and belief systems, breaking apart from what is expected, what you feel is expected from you. This is probably less intense than for everyone else, so I would advise you, Leo, to kind of lay low. Overall, we have a Grand Cross in the cardinal signs. This is going to hit your 12th house of spirituality and religion. But for you, I think that for many of you, unless you are really traveling, or unless you are traveling, or unless you have a heck of a lot of daily tasks to do, this is going to really fly under the radar. So focus on your relationships, maybe do something on the side. You can even go actually shopping you may not want to do, because we have the North Node with a Thor's hammer on it, so you might be prone to overshop. But just do something low-key at home. This is a really nice spot for you to chill out at, because you can see there's no transits here, so you can watch everything go down while you chill. And if you get caught up in something, some energy, some drama somewhere, you remember that we have a Rosetta Stone over us at this time, and that Rosetta Stone is going to really make us feel as though we can go over things a couple times and rehash things. So try another ending. You have a stellium here in Pisces. You can actually reinitiate another ending during this full moon. That's going to be a nice energy. And especially if it's a mindful perspective, if you're just like, okay, zen about it, and like, this is the way it goes. And then we have this Rosetta Stone rehashing energy over us and around in our chart. Okay. So let's take a look at your tarot cards. I'm sorry I have to run through this really quick. I could talk for each sign for days about the astrology. It's just There's so much going on there. I'm just trying to give you a quick overview and a snippet of what you need to know. So here we have, ooh, beautiful. So in my deck, this is my deck, the 19th Century Tarot, I call the Lovers card the kin card, because I do feel like the Lovers is more about duality, and it's more about family relationships and togetherness than it is about romantic love. And so yes, it manifests in marriage, and it manifests in kind of formal relationships, but it also manifests in sisterhood or brotherhood, or any kind of relationship in which people are working together towards a common goal in the form of a family, whatever your family is like. So I was drawn to tell you to hang out at home, and maybe this is going to be a nice spot for you. In fact, you could find yourself really, in a weird way, drawn into your spiritual being, because you're so in touch with the moon at this time in your 12th house, and you're hanging out at home, and you know, whoever comes in, your cousin comes in, is like, oh, I've had drama, I've had this and that, and you can sit here and listen and fully participate with your moon and spirituality, actualize your spiritual perspectives by aiding and helping other people in your family who have different aspects than your own. And so you could be chilling here at home, focused on home, and being the helpful one to others as they figure out this full moon energy for them. And that could be a part of you figuring out your own spiritual full moon and practicing dharma and practicing being helpful, etc. So here is the next message. We have the King of Fire. The King of Fire represents a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. So for you, it could be pure manifestation of your energy, really the call to action to be kind, generous, complete. Here is a Brow Edge card, and if you'd like, write down the keyword from this and really look for signs of this keyword around. So we have synchronicity, and so we've already been talking about synchronicity a little bit while doing this reading. I said go into your house, and then in de facto you could find yourself really actualizing your moon. In fact, Leo, I think that you're guided at this time to really go with the flow, allow transition to happen and roll through in your life. Overall, I think that the energy is pretty chaotic for many people in different parts of their chart. For you, I think you'll sneak through on this one, unless someone draws you into their drama, but that's another story. So here is the token. Well, you have Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter is a part of the Rosetta Stone. Jupiter's in your 3rd house at this time. That's communication, early childhood development, short distance travel. So you may find yourself being called upon to visit a family member's house. That's fine too, you know, showing up for them to provide support and attention. I do feel like it's a very supportive family time for you, Leo. Let's have a look and see what I can give you for that. Oh, Leo, how about we give you this beautiful heart? And this is, I think, a beautiful little heart. And this will provide you care and attention to others. And if you need it for yourself as well, then you can get that. You know, you can get that help and support. Okay, next. Sorry, it's a lot to juggle at once. So we have Leo, and then I think Libra's next. Libra and Sagittarius. Okay. Right. So Libra first, because I do it alphabetically if there's a tie. There's actually a tie between Libra and Sagittarius, so Libra goes first, sorry. But hi Libra, thank you for joining me. This is a reading for you if you are a sun, moon, or rising Libra, or if you see the full moon happening in your 10th house of career. So you might have to look at your chart to figure that one out. But if your sun, moon, or rising is Libra, or if you have the full moon in your 10th house, you may feel as though there's a lot of pressure on you at this time. This is the one time this year when the ante can be turned up on you a little bit. You could feel as though things are a little bit more hectic, a little bit overrun. Jupiter is not able to shield you quite so much because of the T-square. Jupiter's energy in your first house, which is going to be awesome for another 10 months this year, so you still have a lot of time to enjoy yourself, Libra. You may feel as though that energy is dispersed because there's a big giant grand cross between all the cardinal signs, okay? And this is affecting your career and social status. My advice to you, Libra, is stop pushing the envelope. When Jupiter's in our first house, we can push the envelope with regard to our goals, our achievements, the things we want to get done. And so maybe at this time during this full moon, you want to back off and ease off of that a little bit. In fact, maybe family relationships could be confusing the issue and causing complications for you in that part of your life. And then also maybe there's a requirement from you in terms of partnerships to kind of do something atypically or in a different way, and that can cause for you a lack of empathy with regard to your partnerships, and things can get quite confused. Also, that you might experience a shakeup with regard to your spiritual belief system, religious belief system. It might be something that is quite hard to accept. It's important for you to just take things a little bit slower at this time, be a little empathetic. You've been going well for a couple months now with Jupiter in your first house, so now you want to ease off, allow this full moon through. In fact, this full moon is happening in conjunction to a fixed star called Pollux, and so this is experiencing pain in terms of being creative, and in our social lives we are so often creative, and so it's important for you to back off that energy a little bit. The really supportive thing is that tomorrow is a new day. You have a beautiful stellium here in your 6th house. Tomorrow is a new day. There's wonderful energies that are supportive of a Piscean stellium here in your 6th house of day-to-day activities. So even if shit hits the fan for you today, Libra, then just roll with it, go to bed early, just get through it and move along, right? Just move along to the 13th, and then you'll feel much better. Okay, so here is your first card. So we see the Princess of Swords. This is you, Libra. This is my favorite Prince of Swords. I know it's my deck, but I love her. Because this, to me, is the Princess of Swords. You know, when I think about her, that's how I see her. Being blown with the wind and having new ideas and perspectives and kind of this useful, beautiful energy. But the Page of Swords, or the Princess of Swords, suggests that there's a new idea coming through. And as you're going through these harsh experiences, as you're going through the abruptness of this full moon, you may be brought to new concepts and ideas. And it's sometimes in those hardest moments that we rise the highest. So make sure that you are embracing the idea. If you are struggling, then really take it to a good place. The next message here, beautiful Libra, is love. And so these cards, this is the Gaia, the Gaia Dream Tarot, and it's different than other tarot cards. In fact, the arcana is completely different. So here we have the love card. The love card, associated with Venus. Venus is your ruler, Libra. Venus is in Pisces in the 6th house. So really kind of focus on beauty, on what you can do on a day-to-day basis. Maybe self-care today is a wonderful option, such as getting a mani-pedi, and or maybe possibly a facial or something nice for yourself that will help you kind of bring up your energy levels, because I think that they will be strained with this moon here. Especially the dynamic between your home and your career. If you're able to write down this key word for something, so we have new birth, something new is coming through, a new idea, a new concept. This is reinforced by the Princess of Swords, so be accepting of that energy, allow it to come through. Here is your token. Oops. Sorry, this is the 4 corners, so everything's going to come at you from every which way. There's no reason for you to avoid it. There's no reason for you to back off or back down. You will find success on this day. Let's see what crystal I can give you. How about the citrine? It feels as though your energy for this full moon is really kind of robotic. So a nice little citrine stone will really kind of liven up the energy. There's no reason for you to actually be unhappy or sad or any kind of feel negative energy whatsoever. In fact, during this energy, new love is coming through, new opportunities. So allow them to work their way into your life, Libra. I just did a reading on the first for Libra, and we had a really good for all signs, and we also had a very good outcome, so pretty exciting. So next is Sagittarius. Hi Sagittarius, and welcome. This is a reading for you if your sun, moon, or rising is Sagittarius. Also, if you are, if you have the full moon happening in your, let's see. Okay. So if you have the full moon happening in your 8th house, the 8th house is all about endings and termination. So for you, Sagittarius, this is a very important full moon because full moons culminate. They tend to terminate things that are unbecoming of us. This energy is really a kind of extreme in a certain sense because there's a lot of hard angles that are happening around us. There's a grand cross, there's a Taurus hammer in your 10th house of career right on the north node, sudden changes, sudden transformations. And so we have this grand cross energy. We have a hard rectangle. We also have a Rosetta Stone, which allows us to kind of go over things more than once. It's a forgiving energy. I think that your friends and your adaptability, all the lessons you've learned in the Saturn transit of your first house, you're able to kind of roll with the punches and deal with things a bit more. I think that the really kind of upbeat energy for you is here in your 4th house, where Pisces is in stellium. So home and family become really a refuge, a place of comfort and security through this full moon. For you, what you need to watch out for is that you don't send in kind of the termination bullet and it starts ricocheting off of all these crazy squares and whatnot, and kind of ends up, creating a finality to something in your life. That's what you need to watch out for. And especially don't be intense with your money. Don't be intense with the way that you make your money. At this time, it's really important for you to kind of accept what is coming through. It's a wonderful time to also initiate, but there is these hard squares. Jupiter friends might be getting in the way of making money at this time, so you may have to kind of, in a certain way, balance all those energies out, take them slow, take them on the chin, one step at a time, and allow that energy to roll through. Sun conjunct Pluto is wonderful for money, and so you just want to make sure that you are appreciative of that fact and you're kind of grabbing at this opportunity. I think that you're only going to get a couple more, like a few more times to be able to make money. In fact, for you, this might be a breakout. If you do need to terminate something, terminate it now. Go for it if you feel in your gut that this is the end of the road, because this can initiate really a new paradigm for you with regard to making money. So not a personal relationship, but something to do with business could be at kind of the end of its road for you, Sag. So here is your first message. We have the King of Swords, Sagittarius, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini male, someone who is going to provide you counsel. So I feel my channeled message for you is that I feel like maybe someone who you've sought for counsel in the past is now not so reliable. And I felt that Jupiter, it's kind of like a parting of ways in a certain way. I'm feeling that now here. Jupiter is in Libra, which is an air sign, and it's creating a really hard square to the sun at this time. It's almost exact during the full moon. And the 11th house is friendships and social relationships. People who were your confidants, people who had given you food for thought, advice, suggestions that were proactive for living. These kinds of people, the dynamic may be changing at this time. And so maybe this is the time for you to kind of go in a different direction. Here is your next message. We have knowledge. So gain deeper knowledge. If you feel stuck in whatever perspectives that you are on, maybe recline within your home, as we can see here in your 4th house. Recline in your home, do some research, see what opportunities are outside of what you know today, and go after them if you can. Here is your next message, Sagittarius. So we have soul. Now, I'm telling people to write down this key word. For you, the soul is so important at this time. This is quite different than the rest of the energy. The rest of the energy is very pragmatic. This is what you need to do, adjusting money, etc., social status. But at the end of the day, it's what resonates within your soul. And listen to your soul about what to do about all these circumstances and situations. Here is your next token. Here we have Neptune. Where's Neptune's in Pisces? In the home, you find perspective. So I do think my advice for you is to kind of do research in the home, understand new pathways, new directions. When everybody's freaking out with this full moon, it's going to be kind of a full moon where people freak out and do crazy stuff. You may want to just kind of be in the home and heal and do your own thing. You're not necessarily aspected with the Grand Cardinal Cross, so you know, you kind of have a low-key, sort of somewhat low-key transit. You have a Rosetta point on Saturn in your 1st house. So when you have a Rosetta point, you have an opportunity to rehash things, to make them work in your mind a second go around until everything is kind of copacetic. So here is your token. Okay, so we have commitment. Ooh, so maybe the question is, I found this token for you guys. It's not a crystal, but it's still pretty cool. And so the message from this token is commitment. And so maybe it's time for you to assess what exactly you want to commit to. Maybe this person was very helpful and now you're kind of gaining perspectives on how it's not necessarily working for you in the way that you need it to. And so you want to take it one step at a time, assess with your soul, and really reconnect with the direction that you want to take, and kind of reassess what direction you are taking with things. Okay, so after Sagittarius, next one up is Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. Thank you. Oh, no, excuse me, Aries. Aries is next. Okay. It's hard at the end to figure out who's next. It's kind of hard to see it. Okay, so hi, Aries. Thank you for joining me, and welcome to this reading for the full moon. And so the full moon is happening in your 4th house of home. So this is a sensitive point for you, Aries, and because there's a Grand Cross energy in the cardinal signs which you are a part of, this is going to affect you a little bit more than others. In fact, I think it's going to probably affect you the most. One of the signs that feels this the most. And that's because, of course, the home is always a sensitive point for people, family, home issues, and also the balance between your social life, your career and social status, and then also your home. And I feel as though that it's going to be very individualistic for every single different Aries. Everybody's going to go through this in their own way. However, I think that this information is going to be vital for you to kind of be hit over the head with the club of reason, with the club of information, awareness, consciousness, just basic knowing. I think that it's important for you to kind of conceptualize and understand conceptualize and understand this energy. You do have more than one go at things because there's a Rosetta Stone that is a part of your spiritual path, and it's hitting here in your 4th house again, and your partnership. In fact, if you're with a partner at this time, Aries, that partner could really come through for you in a big way. They can really help you assess and maintain order and balance through overall a chaotic full moon. It is going to be chaotic. The moon is in rulership in the 4th house. That means that the moon is very powerful at this time, but the sun is equally powerful as it's leaving the conjunction between itself and Pluto 5 degrees away now. So it's a loose conjunction, but it's still a conjunction. For you, a lot of the answers are coming through in your spirituality, which is Pisces. And here we have a whole stellium of the loving planets, Venus, Neptune, and then the planet of action, but masculine love is here in Pisces as well, and then Chiron in Pisces as well. So we have this healing energy. At the end of the day, you can sit back and take a look at it and find a silver lining through your belief systems and through your faith. And I think at this time it's probably better for you to focus on that than some of the crazy things that are being kind of levied and kind of weighed. You're kind of push and pull between your career, your partnership, your home, and your personality that wants to break out in a new direction. You feel very unsettled through this full moon, I would say. And so I think that for you, settling into some kind of spiritual belief system, spiritual path will really feel much better. So let's take a look at your tarot card for today. And here we see the Ace of Cups. Ooh, some new opportunity coming through. This could signify a new spiritual teacher, a new friendship, a new relationship. If you're not in a partnership, then maybe you can identify a partner. Jupiter is in your 7th house. This is the house of partnership. This is a wonderful year for you to connect with a new partner or a new relationship, particularly if your rising sign is Aries and Jupiter is transiting your 7th house. Everybody's house system is different, right? It's not equal house system, so doesn't look exactly like that. So you want to look on your chart and just make sure that Jupiter is in your 7th house. If it is, then you're feeling that potential of a new bond, a new relationship. Family and home is really at the forefront of your mind, so maybe this is the connection you need. Here is your next card. We have emotions, right? So in emotional times, maybe you do need to be hit over the head with the club of emotional rationality, or like really stop you in your tracks. Aries has a tendency to move so quickly and feel so abundantly that you actually miss the subtler tones of emotions. And so maybe this is kind of a hard lesson for you to be able to recognize what you emotionally need, and this is the step that you need to take. So for this card, I'm telling people to write down the keyword, and you got a powerful keyword called loneliness. So I think it's important for you to kind of heed the call. If there's an opportunity, if there's a bird chirping outside of your window and say, Aries, come out, be happy, and make that connection. And I mean metaphorically speaking. If there's some kind of opportunity for love to come through in your life, Aries, and at the end of the day, you're feeling conflicted and difficult and lonely as a product of your difficulties, then please connect with your emotions and try to work your way through. Maybe not everything on the full moon, because if you push too hard, you might overwhelm yourself or overwhelm your romantic relationships. Here is a token. Oh, so we have Taurus again. Sorry. So Taurus for you, Aries. Taurus people might be very important for you at this time. Also the pragmatic, slow energy. Taurus is in your 2nd house. So you may want to kind of give yourself a gift. Don't go overboard with it, but don't go overboard with it, but nurture yourself. Let's see what I can find for you, Aries. How about a selenite desert rose? No. Aries, you know what? I'm going to give you a twin. Here's a really nice smoky twin. And this is more of a teacher-student. You do have a big transit in your 12th house. So this is a twin smoky quartz. And it's a teacher-student. And so I hope that for you, either you get to be a teacher to someone, or someone gets to be a teacher to you, and you can grow really balanced, really nice energy. So I hope that radiates well for you. And let's put that Ace of Cups on top and the loneliness on the bottom. Let the loneliness motivate you to find new bonds and new relationships. Be pragmatic about what you have. Don't be too assertive with regard to what you're trying to achieve financially. Take it one step at a time. Okay? So next we have Scorpio, right? Hey Scorpio, thank you for joining me and welcome to this reading for the full moon in Cancer. And so let's have a look at your chart. This is true for you if you are a sun, moon, or rising Scorpio, or if you have the full moon happening in your 9th house of philosophy. So let's take a look at your chart. So this is a wonderful time for you to branch out, see the world, see perspectives in a new way, and have an emotional connection to the world at large. Having said that, it's not going to be an easy transit, not so much for you as it is for the cardinal signs. The cardinal signs have a Grand Cross energy over them through this full moon, so it's going to upset certain areas of your life. The areas of upset could be your 3rd house communication, short distance travel might be disrupted. Uranus in the 6th house, kind of unpredictable events could happen in your routine, which could leave you feeling uncomfortable or distracted. There's also the full moon happening in your 9th house of philosophy, long distance travel. And so this is also feeling a little bit on edge. And then Jupiter is in your 12th house of philosophy, of religious philosophy, and religious connection, spiritual connectedness, and oneness. Jupiter in the 12th house, I wouldn't say is an easy transit. It's a whole year of healing what needs to be hurt before Jupiter makes its way into your 1st house next year or later on this year. So you just want to make sure that you kind of absorb those energies and work within them. Now, I do think that this is kind of the hard pill to swallow transit, I would say, for anybody who is experiencing the full moon in your 9th house. Hard pill to swallow, hard thing to understand. There could be something unexpected coming through in your friend section, something really abrupt that could really kind of shake things up for you. The motivation of that could be to do with alignment with what you love to do and what's important to you on an emotional level. So maybe as that's changing, as that's changing and healing, it's provoking your 11th house of friendships and social relationships to transform and liberate itself. Okay, let's take a look at the tarot cards for the day. So here we have the 6 of Discs. This is reciprocity. I should probably just call this card the reciprocity card. This is give and take, you know. This is a beautiful Renoir painting. I love it. But the 6 of Discs is about giving and taking and being in balance, and kind of the positive aspect of recognizing that we don't all have everything. We must share to increase our joint value in life and in whatever we enjoy. And so make sure that you are connecting with the energy of give and take at this time. This could be, even kind of recognizing that in the world things are not very fair, recognizing in the world that people are hurting around the world, and feeling a really emotional impact of that also affecting your 12th house. So it's that consciousness and looking at your day and being like, this is actually really intense. And maybe this can point you to a friend who's kind of being ungrateful for what they have, and you look at them in a different light or perspective. The next message is the King of Earth. This is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, someone who has a lot of resources on hand, someone who is very powerful with the money that they have. You might be actually forming a bond with this individual, a partnership towards building business or maybe some type of ideas. Saturn's in your 2nd house at this time, and although that's a hard transit overall, it is productive in the sense that you can it is productive in the sense that if you have your ducks in order, you can make a lot of things happen with Saturn. So you can get really organized and achieve a lot. And this is really nice when the King of Discs or King of Earth is around, because he can facilitate growth and potential. And so he can add that momentum for you in your life or in your financial life. Here is the next message: movement. Okay, so the importance to move, you can write this word down to motivate you through the full moon. And so, yeah, so you might be feeling either you have an overabundance of energy, and in which case you can share with others, or if you feel depleted energy, then maybe you can find that friend that is able to give you some energy and reciprocate for what you are giving. And that's the balance of everything. You can't have give and take with one person over and over again. You can try to find a balance between a bunch of different people and kind of move around in order to give to some, take from others, etc., and then keep that in balance. The next message here is Venus. Venus is in your 5th house. You have a massive stellium in the 5th house. And so in the 5th house, what we're talking about is romantic relationships. This isn't necessarily a direct point on the full moon. However, it's very well aspected from the sun and from the moon. So you do have this really wonderful stellium in your 5th house of romantic relationships. Romance may be on the table. There might be some kind of sparks flying, healing potentially, and moving forward in new directions, feeling the spark of life, you know, available to you. I have another rose quartz. I know it in the picture, it doesn't look very rose quartzy, but since we have all this Venus came up and all these wonderful energies like the King of Earth, Scorpio, I hope that you enjoy this full moon. Remember, you know, don't worry yourself too much through this process. And if there is a King of Earth coming through, then it might be a nice little place to kind of hide from the full moon and enjoy your time together. I would say that travel will be a little bit contentious at this time. Travel, both short distance and long distance travel. So if you need to travel to your King of Earth, then you may want to kind of take it slow in terms of the full moon. Okay, so we have the last but not least, we have two that did tie. First we have Aquarius and then we have Taurus. So hi Aquarius, thank you for joining me. Let's take a look at your chart. By the way, it's really fun when you guys vote because it's unpredictable. Like, so when I look at who's next, it's actually a lot of fun because I'm like, it goes by really quick because I'm like, oh, who's next? And I don't know. So it's kind of, it's more challenging that way. And it's kind of, it's not so systematic. So it kind of keeps it interesting for me. So I have a lot more fun reading this way. I hope you guys like it too. And so, okay, hi Aquarius, thank you for joining me. This reading is for you if you have a sun, moon, me, or rising Aquarius, or if you have the full moon happening in your 6th house of partnership, sorry, not partnership, of, of daily activities, health and fitness. Now, Aquarius, you're one of the signs that is going to be kind of getting away with this full moon, and you should be happy about it. The moon is in rulership, okay, which means it's in Cancer, which is the sign that the moon rules, but there's all these really intense transits over top at this time. And for you Aquarius, look, there's nothing. There's your chill zone, like you can just go do you, go be Aquarius. I think I was saying to someone else, oh, I think yours is the easiest one. Well, I think I was wrong. I didn't see your chart yet. I think yours is the best. You can actually enjoy yourself financially in a certain direction, take a breather, allow everything to be crazy, allow everything to transform. You do have the North Node Thor's hammer in your 8th house, which is the end of circumstances, but it's pointing you in the right direction. So an abrupt end may actually kind of shoot you off in the right direction anyway. So just go with the flow and like just follow through with whatever it is that, you know, the universe is leading you into. The grand cross that is happening for the full moon is happening in your 12th house of religion, spiritual philosophy, etc. The 3rd house of communication, short distance travel, the 6th house of daily activities, and then the 9th house of philosophy. So I don't think that you're going to get hit hard unless you start crying through your day suddenly. Then, you know, you might feel the impact of that, but overall, forgiving energy, you don't have to worry so much like the others. And so make sure to watch for your sun, moon, and rising if this isn't your sun and moon and rising, because it is a complicated energy for pretty much everybody else but you. And that's why they're jealous of you, because so many times Aquarius get off that way. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So here we go. So your first message is the Princess of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I love this Princess of Cups. My hair is almost that long. Well, not that long, but anyway, so we have Princess of Cups. You know, wonderful new relationship could be dawning for you. Beauty, attraction, and love. The second house, you know, Pisces. Venus is the ruler of the second house, so really loves being there. So maybe at this time you're really kind of feeling nice and wanting to buy nice things. Make sure to not overshop. But I think that through this full moon, you're going to coast on through. Kind of, if you think of the limbo, you're going to get under that bar. And if you do get caught on something, there is a Rosetta Stone over us during that time. So nothing is that final ending, except if you hit on that mark in the 8th house. If something happens abruptly and just ends, just let it go, let it happen. You know, there's not much to do about that. But if you fumble in a certain way, if you meet someone new, fumble over your words or whatnot, then don't worry about it. It's a forgiving energy. Princess of Cups too. You can rehash, retry, try again. You know, it's okay. We don't have to be perfect, right? So here is the next message, the Counselor. So this is the water sign, kind of mid energy. This is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. There's a big message about water signs coming through for you at this time and making those connections. And maybe this is the stellium in the second house. I am drawn to tell you that the second house is where you want to be. The second house is your own money, kind of feeling good about things, maybe self-starting a bit, healing a bit, nurturing yourself, just having fun with yourself. Aquarians can have fun with themselves more so than any other sign. So here is the next card. This is a word that you may want to write down: trading, exchanging. And so maybe this is the time to transform something, maybe sell something that you have so you can get something better. Maybe an upgrade is possible of something. So make sure a tangible project, material possession. So maybe kind of have some fun with that. It's probably more easy than for other signs. So here for you, actually, we have the symbol of money. So again, it's screaming at you, Aquarius. Money's the name of the game. You're doing well. And so for you, Aquarius, I'll give you the Chinese coin here that I have with the whole zodiac on one side. This is the snake one. So yeah, money coming through. I hope good money opportunities for you. Not too complicated in any other direction. So just enjoy yourself and allow that kind of energy to radiate. Last but not least is Taurus. Hey Taurus, thank you for joining me and welcome to this reading for the full moon in Cancer. So this is true for you if you're a Taurus sun, moon, and rising, or if you have the full moon happening in your 3rd house. The 3rd house has to do with communication, short distance travel, and primary school education. So I always call that the formative years, you know, the primary 3 to 8 years. Personal development. This isn't the nicest transit, but you get through it. You get through it okay. You get more than one go at things. I think that for you, social relationships, just hanging out with people, having fun is a wonderful way to get through this energy. If you get caught on something, if something doesn't work out, you have more than one opportunity to deal with something, work through that energy. The Grand Cross energy, which is the primary problem with this chart, not the only one. We also have a hard rectangle, and we also have a Thor's hammer, as well as a conjunction with a fixed star here that doesn't actually matter to you that much unless you're communicating. If you're communicating creatively, you can actually initiate a lot of friction and some type of pain with regard to the way you communicate. And so it would be creative on the one hand, but it could actually produce tears. And so you want to make sure that you are careful with your words and mindful with what you are saying, and just focus on your social relationships. You're having a really nice time. In fact, for you, Taurus, more than anyone else, this is a nice time to meet someone in the circle of friendships and social relationships that you have. So please, go out there, have fun. There's no direct impact on your 1st house. That's nice. But the Grand Cross energy, sorry that I made a tangent, but the Grand Cross energy affecting you at this time is really to do with your philosophy, religious belief systems, your communication, and day-to-day activities. All stuff that could be a naggy, unpleasant experience at the time, but overall something you can get through just fine. Here is your tarot card for the day. So we have the Prince of Swords, a Sagittarius, Aquarius, oh sorry, not Sagittarius, an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Now this Prince of Swords, it's interesting because lots of sword energy coming through. So all the air signs are kind of going through a lot. And there's, ironically enough, there's not many aspects on air signs except Jupiter in the 6th house, in your 6th house. But there could be some kind of, I like my Prince of Swords. It shows his treachery, right? So this is the prince stealing the princess because he fell in love with her and she's sleeping, so he's kidnapping her. And that's kind of like the Prince of Swords energy, kind of this kind of crazy energy. Don't make any brash decisions, even though you may actually feel like the desire to do that. If you do feel the desire to do that, then there might be consequences later. You might be feeling a little bit daring at this time. If it's used for good, go for it. If it's used for bad, then stay clear. Here is your next message. We have the Ace of Earth, right? The Ace of Earth energy, new physical opportunities. They could be financial, they could be of a physical nature. And so if that's happening for you, then allow that energy to kind of radiate forward, move forward on whatever it is that you materially want. Those things are good. The North Node is in Virgo in your 5th house. 5th house is desire. So this could be actually a new desire that's coming to the forefront about what you want to achieve. Here is your brow to ledge for the full moon, slowing down. Okay, so slow things down. Like I said with the Prince, take it slow, take it easy. If you want, write down the words slowing down and see how they show up for you in your life over the next few days. Here is a token for you, and we see Chiron. Oh, interesting. So Chiron is in Pisces, and it's in your 11th house of social relationships. You might be actually called on to help people who are your friends, and through that make bonds and empathy, compassion, and understanding. And through that, there might be some real opportunities there for you to shine at this time. Because the aspects, the hard aspects, are not necessarily focused on your main houses, you may feel that you have more room to be there for others at this time. And so therefore, you may want to really take opportunity of that, because indirectly, at certain points, something new and positive can be born out of your behavior now. Something new and positive could be born out of your behavior now, and new directions. Okay, so let's take a look at what crystal can I give you for that. I'll give you another fluorite. I know it's the 2nd time I'm using fluorite today, but I like this one. This is my kind of like egg fluorite. Is green and white. It's really pretty. And so so yeah, with this fluorite, I hope that you find perspective and clarity of vision and see where you can help heal your own heart chakra or heal somebody else's heart chakra. And yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful time. So just as a final little thing, I know this energy is totally over the top. Just a final little thing. Why don't we pick 3 cards from the Wheel of the Year Tarot for everybody all at once? So here is the general advice for everyone for the full moon. I'm just going to quickly, cut the deck. No big deal. So here is some extra information. You can cut the deck in whatever way you like, and there you go. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. This is the Wheel of the Year Tarot for everyone. Your first message is the Princess of Discs, Princess of Pentacles. It seems as a lot of the signs are actually focused on taking new directions, new financial directions, new projects are in the works, new projects for ideas. So go forward with those concepts and prospects. Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn people, or particularly women, will be important for many of us. Next is the 8 of Swords, and I was surprised that this didn't come up more for people during the reading. I don't think it actually came up at all. But the 8 of Swords is like, what do I do? And I do feel that energy when I look at the astrological aspects. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You may not see it immediately. Just pace yourself. Take it one step at a time. Overall, the whole reading was very positive directions. Look, we have friendship, high octave love, romantic love, healing, opportunities, romance, and marriage. I mean, very good cards. So most of you guys, it might be a little bit of struggle, but for a good cause. Here is the next message and the last message for today. We have the Three of Cups, celebration, joy. Don't really celebrate over anybody else. Take your time, but share in the positive news and experiences. The new year is here. We have the first full moon in Cancer, which is a moon in rulership, so feeling really energized and powerful for the entire year. And so with the Three of Cups, celebrating and seeing the springing of a new year, just like this new chick. So we all have new things coming up for us. Some of us have to deal with some things, but there's projects and things in the works that will lead us to new directions. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay tuned. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and sponsor if you like. If you'd like to sponsor me, go to veroosh.com and go and sponsor there. Thank you so much. I will post the list of time caps in the About section below shortly. Bye.